I want to talk about some 90 Day Fiance related updates. First, starting off with Patrick's brother John. He announced that him and his fiance Megan are expecting their first child together. Megan does have a child that should be about 5 or 6 now, named River, and now River will have a brother or sister on the way. So congratulations to them. And Sophie shared some scary news. So the other day she shared some pictures where she had like this injury to her mouth. Her mouth was bleeding all over the place. I'm not going to post it here because it's a little too graphic, but you can go on any of the Facebook groups or the Reddits or 90 Day Fiance T pages on Instagram and find it if you haven't seen it already. But a lot of people were skeptical of what she posted. They're like, I feel like she did this to herself. She's just doing this for attention. So she ended up clapping back with the receipts. She said, "Thank you for all the kind messages and support. I'm staying off my phone right now as much as I can to rest, so I haven't responded to any messages. But I see them and I appreciate it. And I think it's absolutely ridiculous that I even have to prove anything. But for the people saying it was fake blood and I didn't need stitches, here you go." And it shows right here that she went to the hospital to get stitches. And you can clearly see the stitches above her lip. Any details beyond that are unclear at this time. She said she did put a police report in, and due to that, there's an ongoing investigation. And she said because of that, she cannot comment on the case or share any further details. So hopefully she has a quick recovery. She did end up moving out of Texas literally the next morning, but I think she was already planning to move anyways. So she ended up moving from Texas, and she's now living in LA. Jasmine posted, and she wanted everyone to know that no one has ever paid for any of my stuff ever in the United States. I support myself and my family in Panama, mom and sister included, all by myself. I've worked very hard since I was 16 years old. My first job was cleaning apartments. Then I became the teacher's assistant at the university. And once I graduated, I immediately started working as a teacher. 16 years later, I got fired for the first time ever due to a stupid mistake I made. I graduated without any student loans because I got full scholarships due to my outstanding good grades. Then she did a poll and she's like, guys, do you want to hear some tea I have to spill? And of course, most of the people voted yes. And she said, okay, here I go. On December of 2024, someone I know, let's not say names, but we'll call him Dude. He got a crazy Venmo for $1, so miserable by the way, from an obsessive ex-girlfriend. We'll call her Crap. So I'm assuming she's talking about Matt's ex-girlfriend. And then she goes on to say, so Matt and this person broke up back in 2018, but as I said, this person's kind of crazy that stalks, harasses, and makes your life a living hell. She's obviously blocked from everywhere because she's Coco, so she started reaching out to the ex of the person that he was with. We'll call him, and then she shared a grandpa. Reaching out to the ex of the person he was with. If I could read between the lines, it sounds like she's saying that this girl started reaching out to Gino because she couldn't get a hold of Matt. So I'm just guessing. So Gino, or who she's calling Grandpa, and Crap became friends and they started going out. They started taking pictures, so Matt and the person he was with, we'll call her Princess, would, according to Gino and Crap, get jealous. And of course it didn't work because Matt and Princess couldn't give 3 cucumbers about them. Then she said, as I said before, Cuckoo is beyond cray-cray, and since she was blocked everywhere, she started to send Venmos to Matt so that she could text him. And then she decided to share a screenshot of one of the Venmos, and I guess you can attach a little message once you send a Venmo message. And she said, that shows you're a loser. Doesn't make you more of anything but a bigger loser. You'll always be miserable. Living in Florida will only make you worse. Hope 2025 shows you how miserable and dumb you are. You think being on a trashy show effing some, and then it cuts off. And she says, I have so many of these, it's scary. Yikes. the real tea is, how much money is she sending along with these messages? Like, she's probably just sending like a penny. What she needs to do is go get a job at the Planet Fitness that Jasmine and Matt like to go to. And then she says, now do you see, every day is so much new drama in my life. It's exhausting, but I live for it. And then she asked for people to rate the tea. And a few days before that, she was popping off on Instagram after they showed the trailer for the new season of Happily Ever After. And she said, I have no desire to continue playing the bad guy and lying just because he has to be protected and have likability for his next single life season. He's an abuser and I will prove that in court. I filmed for almost 2 years for Gino to get paid double and keep my part of the money for himself. Okay, but how much did he spend on your plastic surgeries? Because plastic surgery is not cheap. And she goes on to say, now on top of that, I have to play again the role of the bad guy so people feel sorry for him and tune and root for him in single life while I have to ignore his abuse. Spoiler, he's not actually dating Natalie. It's just an agreement for TV. I don't give a shit anymore. Okay, so pretty much what she's talking about, I'm sure many of you guys have seen the trailer of the new Happily Ever After season, but we're gonna pretty much see Gino and Jasmine leave the resort and start their open relationship. And I thought it was just gonna be Jasmine focusing on Matt. You know, Gino said he was gonna start dating, but I didn't think he was gonna jump into it so quickly. And I guess as soon as he gets back, he dives head first into the dating scene, and he went and found him a little baddie that looks exactly like Jasmine. Like, he definitely has a type, and Jasmine is trying to claim, oh, he's not really with her, it's just for the show. I just think Jasmine is mad because they're bringing him back on the single life and not her, because she's constantly been coming out and saying, I don't understand why he hasn't got his Carmen yet. It's not fair. Carmen needs to know his address. But you can't expect bad on people and then sit there and be surprised when you're not blessed to return. And now let's talk about Sarper and Shekinah. I always say her name wrong. Shekinah. Okay, so they live in California and they're out at this cafe, and TMZ was there and they were asking them about their betting that they did in one of the season finale episodes. And in this little clip, Farrah Abraham from Teen Mom commented, and she said, broke as F Italian user. So I don't know if she was talking to Sarper or Shekinah, but she definitely has beef with either one or the other, or possibly both of them. And I want to know, what is the tea there? If anybody knows, please let me know in the comments below. Some people are like, maybe Sarper tried to hit up Farrah before. I don't know, but she sounds angry. Now let's talk about one of the talks of the town. Ever since the trailer for the 90 Day Fiancé tell-all dropped, Amani looks completely different. It looks like she got her nose done. She may have got herself some cheek filler. And she has been candid about her nose job. I guess she wasn't very happy with it at first. But yeah, a lot of people are like, damn, she looks like a completely different person. Like, I'm not even trying to be funny. I thought she was a Lee at first glance. And I mean, she looks great, but I just think she looked fine before. Like, I don't have no issues with plastic surgery. Do whatever makes you happy. I just don't like when people overdo it. Like, I just think she needs to slow her roll a little bit, because I think she's teetering on a really thin line between staying where she's at and going overboard. But you guys let me know what you think. And she ended up responding to a comment where someone was talking about her nose, and she said, is my nose the talk of the tell-all? Come on guys, that's very shallow. I'm 4.5 months from surgery while at the tell-all, and it usually takes a whole year to heal. And she said, I was 3 weeks post-surgery. Faces and noses continue to heal. Surprise, I'm always transparent with you guys. When you see the episode, do you think it's still in the moment? People's life continue way after. Then she shared this comparison where she said, have you seen us in one room? Then she shared some receipts after some people felt like she was trying to cut off Ani after she got mad because Ani chose her husband Matt. And she said, I blurred out full name and date to shooting in, I'm not even going to try to say that, but she said, These were my attempts during filming to send her rent money as I promised. But this was also the first time that I sent her money directly to not use Ray anymore. I left the date of 18 on purpose because she damn well knows that date she picked Matt, and I still did what I promised because that's who I am. So it shows her trying to send 2,600, 2,000, and it shows that it was all canceled. And then she said I uploaded verification documents during filming, can't verify, don't have the document they asking for on me. I need to get back home, but why trouble her with all this? That's what good partners supposed to do, handle this. And she said there was nothing I could have done in Mexico until I got home, which is still when I got it done. I don't mind being the villain with the edits, but I stand on my business. And this is a receipt showing that the transaction was canceled because they needed some more documents from her. And then she responded to people getting mad at her for her calling out Ani for being a stripper, which I think is foul as hell because you literally met this woman at a strip club and you knew who this woman was when you chose her. So don't sit there and throw it in her face. Like, I just think Amani is so disgusting for that. And I don't know. I liked Amani at first, but she just comes across as one of those people that think they're better than everyone else just because they have a lot of money in a G-Wagon. Amani literally needs a slice of humble pie. And just because you have all these valuables does not mean that you are a good person on the inside. Like Ani said, I really feel like Amani needs a lot of counseling because she really comes across as a mean girl and like she's not fully happy with herself, so she projects that onto other people. That's just what I'm getting from what I've seen from her this season. And so she says, I just want to gossip about, or people want to gossip about my old OnlyFans real quick. Well, yeah, I mean, you want to talk about her being a stripper. Yes, I did have an OnlyFans, and I already talked about it in my Q&A at the beginning of the season. So let's be clear, this isn't new tea. If I ever felt like doing OF again, I would make $5K in 3 weeks, and I decided it wasn't for me, mainly because some of the messages I got were just weird. For the record, I never stripped and never will. I'm actually tried helping women transition out of that world. I offered a girl I was dating a chance to build something together so she could leave her job. And I helped a close friend of mine quit stripping. And listen, I love strippers. I have a problem with the strip clubs. I go, I tip, I support, but if we're together and I'm investing in our future, I'm going to do everything I can to help you build something more stable. Okay, but you gotta be more mentally stable, girl, before you can offer someone something real stable. And she said, that's just how I love. Some people are into fast money. I'm not. Try digging for dirt on me. I'm an open book. No skeletons in here, baby. So Ani ended up clapping back and she said, look, before filming and we were going to record, I had a lot of big expenses. I got into debt buying my children land, and I didn't want to record because that meant I needed to stop generating the expenses of my debts, and I didn't want to fall behind. Days before I fell into the hospital, I had emergency surgery so that I thought that I wouldn't be able to record because I spent $5,000 and paid with my credit card another expense to which I thought recording would leave me at zero. It turns, well, I mean, she ain't lying though, because they don't pay them up front. They do not get paid until these shows air, and they film these shows like anywhere between 6 months to 12 months out. And it goes on to say, it turns out that she told me, I'll support you with your rent, no problem, to which I never asked again. In the middle of the recordings, I was behind with my rent, and when I finished recording one night, I said I'm going to go to work, and she told me not to go. I'll put them on for you. It turns out that as soon as the money arrived, I felt very sad, and I felt like she wanted to control me through money. Man, I sure hope that this is the last we see of this throuple. Just because it just felt like a lot of their storylines weren't authentic. I watched Amini and Matt on their Netflix show, and I feel like that was their genuine relationship. Like, she was going off on Matt because she felt like he was lazy because he didn't have a job, but she forced him to be at home taking care of the kids while she was out making the money. And it seemed like back then she was controlling him with money. And I feel like that's who Minnie really is. But her and Matt fought so much on that show. I think they knew when they signed up for this show, okay, we didn't look so good in that last show. Let's sit here and try to make a game plan so we don't look so bad, and try to at least control our anger and make deals that we're not going to say this, we're not going to bring this up. And I feel like they had like a big agreement, and that's why we're really not getting a good season from them this past season. I don't think they gave us a good season, because I feel like a lot of the drama they had was orchestrated between them, and it was just so obvious. They're not very good actors. But let me know what you guys think about everything in the comments below. Give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.